Here we are in Platt Park, one of the coolest neighborhoods in all of Denver. I would say in a lot of ways, it's kind of like the little sister of Washington Park, wouldn't you?
Would you say it's cooler, more fun, everybody likes it a little better?
I mean, I don't know if everybody likes it better, but it is a little more about going out, getting out on the town, a more robust restaurant scene. In a lot of ways, a very similar vibe otherwise, but a much smaller and not as cool of a park.
Yeah, we're here today to give you some of the distinguishing features of some of the differences it has from the nearby areas and help you figure out if it's right for you.
We're Jake and Megan Freedle, your brother-sister real estate team, full-time real estate agents, part-time tour guides to everything Southern Denver living.
And hey, whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 900 days, it's never too early to reach out to us to start conversations about making your move to Denver. So all of our information is in the description below, and we are so excited to hear from you.
Let's start by putting Platt Park on the map for you. So it sits on the south end of Denver, and its boundaries are going to be Mississippi and I-25, Broadway, Evans, and Downey. And along the area is its kind of main street. It's South Pearl, and that's where everything happens. It's lined with shops, restaurants, and lots to do. So when you say walkable, a lot of times in Denver, that's kind of a loosey-goosey term. I feel like it's pretty relevant here. You can run out of your house, go hit your drugstore, go grab drinks, go grab lunch, grab some shopping in, and you can all do that really walkable in your one little city area. It's also a really nice place to walk in. There's lots of cute things around the town. Like, I know whenever I'm there, I see these little like fairy sculptures that they have set up. The whole town is played into it, and they have them set up all along the shops. So it's a great place to walk around and get everything you need done. And it's not just walkable, it's bikeable. And I say this because a lot of times when Jake and I are showing folks around there, they're biking to us. We have to drive up in our car from a little further south, but everywhere they go, they're enjoying the sunshine and the nice biking paths that Denver has to offer. Denver as a whole has some pretty good bikeable areas, some dedicated lanes in the streets that are really helpful, and this particular area is pretty close to the Platte River Trail, which is known to be beautiful for biking, and the Cherry Creek Trail, which you hop on that, you can get all over Denver.
As we were filming, we ran into Doug. He was such a nice guy, and he talked to us about what it's been like living in the area for many, many years. He actually lives in the Wash Park area, but he talks about frequenting Platt Park and what it's been like watching it change over the years.
Actually, there's not a lot of shopping directly in Wash or in the middle of Wash Park. So people tend to come down here to South Pearl. And then there's various shops and so on along Alameda that people go to as well.
And I definitely agree with that sentiment of doing a little travel to get to everything that Platt Park has to offer. From Sushi Den, Park Burger, Quiero Arepas, there are so many options of things to eat and do down here that you really can't go wrong. Oh, and the events. Sunday Farmers Market every single week in the summer and even into the fall. You've got Pride on Pearl Street. You've got Oktoberfest, Winterfest, and art walks. It doesn't just end at your neighborhood restaurant. There's lots of activity and communities to join in the area.
To understand why Platt Park is such an awesome neighborhood, we got to talk a little bit about the historical context. So Platt Park has roots going back to the late 1800s. It actually used to be part of its own town, South Denver, which was later annexed and just became the rest of Denver. But because of that, it was kind of its own little town center, which is why we have this really awesome mix of housing and retail and commercial areas. There's a couple of really cool landmarks that anchor the area. One of them is the Fleming Mansion, and this was a mansion built in the late 1880s by James Fleming. It served as his personal residence for a time, and then he sold it to the city, and for a time it was South Denver's City Hall, even served as South Denver's jail for a little while, and now is just a really beautiful building that adds a lot of character to the neighborhood, and it's used for local events, community gatherings, and you can even get married there. Next is a really special place. It's the Decker Library, named originally after Sarah Platt Decker, who was a famous women's suffragist, one of the folks who brought the women's vote here to Colorado. It's a really cute, smaller library, and it's done so intentionally. So it's really great for kids who have maybe some sensory stuff going on. If you have kids who are neurodivergent, like I do, this is a really nice, calm, peaceful library to be in. They even have sensory toolkits, so they have headphones and fidget devices and all kind of cool things like that, sensory story times. And they have programming for kids all year long and in the summer that focus on early learning literacy. So you've got toddler story times, little kiddo story times, preschool story times. It's a great hub for the neighborhood. So if you're looking for your mom's group, this is where you're going to find it. So there are a ton of new builds in this neighborhood. Reason being is we're starting to hit this tipping point for the older homes. A lot of homes were built between 1900 and 1940. The Denver area has a lot of expansive soil, which is hard on foundations. So with such a robust Pearl Street area, a lot of folks are identifying this neighborhood and building newer homes, and they're finding the perfect opportunities for homes to scrape because of a lot of those foundational issues we see. If you've watched our videos before, you hear us talk a lot about this. It's a huge concern, and we're always happy to guide you into making sure that your home has a great foundation. But for the homes that have maintained structural integrity over time, there are some beautiful old homes. We've got lots of bungalows, some craftsmen, some Denver squares, and lots of things with big front porches to encourage folks to get out into the community and say hello to their neighbors. So the neighborhood feels very cohesive, even though you've got this disparity between the old 1900s home and some of these earlier 2000s homes. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and it feels wonderful to walk through. So it's a nice mix. Whatever you're looking for, we can find it. Diving into some numbers in Platt Park. First, the single-family detached homes over the last year for about 1,200 square feet above ground and just under 2,000 square feet total. That's going to sell for right around $900,000. And then if we dive into the non-single families, duplexes and the like, you're going to get about 1,800 total square feet above ground, with 2,600 total, including that basement, and then a closed price of about $910,000. So what's happening there? We would typically see the single families selling for higher prices, but what's really going on here is that a lot of the single families are going to be your older homes, and they're going to be built to the 1900 standards of architecture and what people needed out of a home. So the newer homes are actually going to be some of those duplexes. And so you're getting more square footage, a more modern layout, but you're sacrificing the privacy of having a standalone building. So kind of up to you, is it better to have a nicer, more modern home, or can you take an old craftsman style and turn it into exactly what you want and have that separation?
Despite this historic charm that is absolutely present at Platt Park, it doesn't have a true historical designation. Now, we've talked about this before. If you've ever seen our Highlands video, we talk into the Potter District is the top one that comes to mind, which is this historic neighborhood that has that designation, and it makes it a lot harder to do renovations. But here, Platt Park, even though it has all that charm, it doesn't have that designation. So it does have a lot more ability for you to do development if you want. If you want to renovate the exterior, there's a little less rules, and your permitting process is going to be a little easier. Now, the con side of this, Doug in our interview talked about his struggle with this tear down and rebuild.
People are coming in, knocking down the houses and building these like 8,000, I don't know if it's 8,000, but these huge houses that are like, within a foot of the lot line and so on. And, from my perspective, that's not really what I like to see.
A lot of folks feel like it's taking away some of that charm, and you're taking away some of these really historic, beautiful things and slapping up things that they're maybe not the most proud of. Now, we talked a lot about how some of these older homes were having a lot of problems, and that was why they were scraped to begin with, but it really is an argument that deserves a lot of attention from both sides. Also, we saw some recent changes in Denver with ADU status, and Platt Park is no exception to that. We're seeing a little bit broader ability to have ADUs put into the back of homes, so if you have a lot that has the space for it, you might have some ability to do ADU. But the really cool thing about Platt Park and its zoning is that there are already a lot of lots that are already zoned for 2 units on 1 lot. Now, this can be really great for value. It increases the drive for redevelopment. People, if you're selling your own lot and it already has that capability, it gives you a lot more value on your sale. The con of this could be that if you don't want to live next door to a duplex and you currently don't, that could change for you.
That lot might be sold and eventually turned into a duplex when it was once a single-family home. So lots of drive for economic growth and value increase that we have consistently seen over the years in Platt Park, and a lot of drive for density growth. And with all that growth does come some redevelopment. There's rumor of a Trader Joe's coming to Platt Park. We're pretty sure it's happening, but it's not 100% confirmed publicly yet, so up in the air a bit. There's also the redevelopment of the Hanson site. That's going to be mixed-use development with some more shopping, retail type of things. We're also seeing that cause maybe some parking issues. Some people are complaining that Platt Park is not very parkable. I personally have found when I'm showing in the area, I don't have too hard of a hot time finding parking. I usually have to walk a couple blocks, and I think that's pretty great for Denver in general. But with more density and more spaces does come more parking issues.
So as we just learned from Doug there, not everybody's super into the scraping and the rebuilding of the giant homes. And we just got a tour of this beautiful new duplex from our friend Alex. This is the Denver Building Group. They are building about 12 projects around Denver right now. They've got this one that is just one block from Sushi Den. I mean, I could literally hit Sushi Den with a rock. And they've got a few projects in Cherry Creek and in Washington Park. These beautiful new duplexes are going to be made with high-end finishes. Going to sell for right around $2 million. Let's take a look inside. Alex was nice enough to give us a construction tour.
So basically recently we added a new pergola that kind of connects to the stone wall here. We're gonna make this all wall. We're gonna add a parting wall here as well, 8 feet tall, nice separation from the neighbors. If we head inside, we are really big on accents. So we have accents across all the walls here, and that goes all the way down that way as well.
Awesome. So is this like did you scrape this?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
This was a full demo being built up. We don't have countertops quite yet. As you can see, this is kind of what construction looks like in the rough. This is gonna be a really cool giant fireplace.
Oh, that would be
So
awesome.
like this is how the bathroom's gonna look like.
Nice.
Here on top, and then cover this. We're gonna fit the 2 washer and dryers in there. Nice little stone laundry room, I suppose. Here's the secondary. We have some of the towel work done here as well.
Which one are we looking at? A little ensuite. Oh, I thought that red was like tile. I was like, that's a bold choice.
No, so usually we use leftover pieces of the stone. I'm not saying granite quartz because I'm not good at my stones. I just know it's stone, and we just fill that. Get out.
Great.
The closet for the master. And what I like about duplexes is that we actually do 2 closets. Because I know a lot of people complain that, duplexes have way too small closets, too small storage, so we said, let's add 2.
Nice.
Finishing here, we have undercab lighting here. So it's gonna be LEDs.
Nice.
Same on the ground, we're gonna use the stone, finish it through, and then that is the second closet. Obviously, toilet is bidet ready. We're adding a plug in there.
Cool.
Bathroom, this is gonna be a wet bar. Also, stone from downstairs is gonna be accented here as well.
Nice. Bathroom.
This is our office area, or you can use it as another bedroom.
Yeah, the windows are awesome.
We have sleepers right now, but
Mountain
mountain
view.
views. I know about you, I got fear of heights, so I'm staying close to the wall.
I used to jump out of airplanes.
You're insane. You're insane. And then that's
I don't anymore. I was insane. Yeah, it's very cool. I like it's unique.
We have beams up there, columns.
Nice. Oh yeah, little, what do they call that? complementary colors in your cabinetry.
Yeah.
Very cool. Last, let's talk about some transportation stuff. We are super close to Louisiana Pearl Light Rail Station. It's an easy walk there. And from there, it's like 10 minutes to downtown with a very few stops. If you need a park and ride, you have to go to the Broadway station, which is also very close by, and even shorter trip to downtown. So transportation is very accessible here. There's a park and ride at the Broadway, easy trip downtown no matter where you're from. Thanks for joining us in Platt Park today. If you missed the Washington Park Big Brother tour, make sure you find that and subscribe to our channel.
And hey, we do YouTube tours for fun and to help you figure out what place is right for you, but real estate is our professional. That's where we really shine. So if you guys have any questions about real estate and moving here, we are always happy to discuss with you.
Please reach out to us, shoot us a text message or an email, and we'll see you next time.